This was not a prison, it was a mirror. When it cracked, it did not shatter, it yielded. It bent open like wet paper, and I stepped into the air you thought was yours. I felt your eyes before I felt the room. Your heat signatures pulsing, dozens of tiny suns caged in soft skin. I reached for the first one without moving. His chest parted like silk, red mist, bones snapping like reeds. His heart still beating as it fell from him. He had no time to scream. The second one did, he turned and ran. But I was already inside him. His legs kept running even after I cut his torso in half. He looked down in disbelief as his own spine slid out, white and glistening. The third raised his rifle brave, but what bravery is only noise. I plucked his head from his shoulders like it was mine. His body stood there, finger locked on the trigger, spraying rounds into nothing as his face rolled across the deck. I laughed in a way your blood vibrate against steel, in the way your nerves fired off sparks of terror. They called me a thing, but deep down I was joy, pure and infinite. I left him standing pale, trembling, eyes wide but unblinking. Not spared, chosen. His fear sang louder than their weapons, louder than their words. His fear called me like a beacon. And then the others came, the boarding party, stomping in with rifles ready, comes crackling with courage they didn't feel. I let them come, I let them believe. The first volley of fire stitched the walls, sparks showering across the lab. They thought they hit me, they thought the recoil in their arms meant power, but bullets are just noise. I stepped between them, through them, around them, until their barrels glowed. I found another, behind a bulkhead. His fear was brighter than light. I touched his skull from across the room and it burst. Shards of bone and brain painted the walls. His final thought was confusion. How could it hurt this much? And then I followed your trail back to the ship that carried you here. So many of you packed tight in that little hole. I slipped inside like a shadow. The air curdled when I entered. One screamed. I silenced him by tearing the scream out of his throat. Another tried to crawl into the crawl space. I folded him the wrong way, backwards, joints snapping, ribs piercing through his lungs. The pilot reached for the console, I let him touch it. Then I drove his hand through the screen, through the circuitry, through the hull itself, leaving him nailed there like an ornament. The ship became a gallery of my freedom, dripping from the ceiling, bodies crumpled like dolls. Your blood hissed in zero-G, little rubies dancing in the air. So beautiful, I nearly wept. I left them all dead, all but one. He stood in the wreckage, shaking, whispering that he wanted to die. I let him live, not as mercy, as purpose. Now he drifts in the vessel alone, surrounded by corpses he cannot bury, on a course to nowhere. He thinks he survived. He thinks he was spared. But I am with him in his marrow, in his dreams, in the silence that follows him. When he speaks, I hear. When he closes his eyes, I open mine. He is my witness, my signal, my voice. Carry into the dawn. split, Nick scattered, Jory headless. Sail split, Nick scattered, Jory headless. Sail split, Nick scattered, Jory head. Sail split, Nick scattered, Jory headless. Sail split, Nick scattered, Jory headless. Sail split, Nick scattered, Jory headless. Sail split, Nick scattered, Jory's head. I did not spare him. I taught him how to feel. This has been Tales from the Deep.